Nick, we need a tagline for the podcast.
No. Real life opinions. Movie reviews told by fans and not critics.
See what's really funny is, so we've been getting lectured from my son who puts up our stuff on YouTube about putting songs and whatnot before all our things. So I think we should just go and maybe see if that gives it away. I mean, it's funny, we always make it a secret. Oh, guess what we're doing? You know, the average person who's listening to our podcast sees the title before they push play, right? So,
well, you know what? For the people that fall asleep in the middle of the night and just have it on their playlist, they don't know.
This is
yeah,
true.
sorry, John.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one.
Well, what we need to do is we need to copyright our intro and let us know. Me and Corey talked about it, maybe with you too, about maybe changing our intro. And I'm just like, oh, I love that intro, but like...
I think it was just me and you, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was just you two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about updating it or something, but...
But if we copyright that, we'll have a copyright claim on everything on YouTube. And then no one else can copyright claim it.
I don't think our intro is highly sought after property.
But if you copyright it, then it prevents any other copyright claims. That's how it works.
Huh.
I think. I don't know. I'm not the legal department of YouTube.
There could be something about every time it's played too, because it's copyrighted, you might get paid for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we would pay ourselves.
I can't afford a patent.
See, I do the podcast. I don't need to listen to the podcast.
It shows.
Way to support us. Yeah, not quality control
I
at all.
actually think the podcasters app, whatever, with Spotify, is not accurate. Because I've had so many people, oh, I'm following your thing now, and I look at my thing, it's like 0 views or 0 new followers in the last 30 days. I'm like,
I have seen, I've listened to the podcast myself, and then looked at the number of listens, and I'm just like, that's strange. It didn't go up. So, you know, it's not always the most accurate of things.
Oh, well. I mean, we're the only one who sees it. It's not like everybody else does.
So why are we here today, guys?
Well, we just did it.
Well, that could be, so we're doing Space Jam.
No.
That could be anybody's pig crap silo.
We're doing a Looney Tunes movie.
Oh.
The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie.
There was an advertisement that said this is the first theatrically released feature-length animated movie ever done by Looney Tunes, and I'm just like, there's no way that's right.
But it is.
Yeah, like how
they had to stress the fully animated because, of course, Space Jam, back in action, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and all the other ones that came out were shorts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but back in the day, they were released in the theaters, right?
Remember all the Warner Brothers movies that had Looney Tunes shorts before them? Like,
Twister.
Gremlins 2, Twister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whenever you went to a drive-in.
Yeah.
It's like a quintessential drive-in thing, right?
They're saying now that Warner Brothers is going to go the route of Fox.
What?
Oh, like...
Get bought out by Disney or someone.
Oh my... That is so...
They said if Superman does not get like $1 billion, they're probably selling.
Well, like, look what they did to... they scrapped Batgirl.
Yeah.
Like, it was a fully made movie.
Yeah.
Just release it, right? They scrapped Coyote versus Acme.
Apparently, they've got a new buyer, and they might be releasing that.
Really?
I'm pretty excited because I really wanted to see that. So.
I would 100% go watch that. It's Coyote. I mean,
and it sounds kind of amazing, right? Like, what? So since this, I wasn't too sure if we do this or not because like animated movies aren't really normally our jam.
But this whole month
we've done animated movies. So Corey, next week you have to pick an animated movie.
Actually, I already know what we can do. We'd already talked about it.
Okay. Oh, is it what I think it is?
I think so.
Okay.
now I have
Which
to
is
remember.
kind of animated.
Yeah, it's very
it-
similar to like a Warner Brothers feel. So.
Yeah. It's got Warner Brother characters in it, so equal screen time as Mickey Mouse. So
Yeah.
yeah. Do you know what we're talking about?
We'll say at the end.
Yeah, we'll say at the end. Was this movie a surprise to you guys?
In what way?
Just in any way?
The fact that it was a theatrically released movie?
No, well, like, when you watched it, was it what you expected? Because it was kind of like, I was not quite expecting this movie.
It was, it felt like a long episode, which is, in my opinion, successful for a movie based off of episodes. Like, The Simpsons movie was a long episode, so it was great. But then there's other movies, and I can't think of one off the top of my head right now, based off of episodes where they try and make a movie out of it, and it falls flat. Mm-hmm. So this one, they just made a long episode, and I was satisfied with that.
Yeah, I felt it was different than an episode. What about you, Laura?
If you're going based on the newer Looney Tunes, it was a long episode.
Really?
If you're looking at it based on what Looney Tunes used to be, it's not what you expect.
Well, I felt like it was very much like the old Looney Tunes, yet still it was different. But I don't know, maybe it was more... The plot maybe had more substance, I want to say, than I expected.
100%. And I mean, the plot twist was weak, but... It
was unexpected, though.
Yeah.
It was, like, I didn't see it coming.
Although, I, in my head, actually had that thought.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That you're going to bow down to Boba Tea?
No.
Oh, the resource! I'm just like, Boba Tea's not that good that you need to save the planet to fucking get it, right? And like, you almost forget at the beginning about the asteroid, don't you? Like at the beginning,
forget about the asteroid.
Because it's like asteroid, alien.
Yeah. And it takes out that roof and everything like that.
What was in the little alien ship that cracked open then?
The goo.
That was the goo.
Just the goo? Okay.
Yeah.
That was the goo.
Okay. I was kind of wondering because there's never an actual alien on Earth except for, I guess, the creatures in the gum. But yeah.
See, and I don't know, when I saw the little spaceship, I was a little disappointed that it was just goo.
Did you think Marvin was coming
I wanted Marvin
so freaking... I even told Lisa, she's like, what's it about? I said, I don't know. It's an animated movie. It's got Porky Pig and Daffy Duck, and I think Marvin's the bad guy. And then they show the bad guy. I'm like, well, fuck.
That's what the kids said. They're just like, how come they didn't have Marvin? But I don't think it would have worked if it was Marvin, though. Like, it needed to be that alien.
Not with how they saved everything. Yeah, Marvin wouldn't have worked.
No, like, you could have had Marvin be like a minion, and I'm surprised they didn't go that route.
He would have been a better minion.
Yeah, I didn't mind the mindless scientist minion.
Choo, yeah.
Oh, what did you guys think of the Farmer Jim sequence?
That was fucking weird.
It was so weird.
Was he Farmer Jim or was he God?
Yeah, where did he walk away to? Like, he walks away and then all of a sudden he's in the clouds. It's like, what? And how he walks away, boing, 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 boing.
Yeah, I love how he's like a painted image, except for like that one time he fucking turns around.
Yeah, at the very, very, very end, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, they spent the budget to animate him turning, and then the rest was just a movie.
The one was the painting with the lip moving, just, and that was it, so...
You boys look after one another now, and then he's Mufasa out.
Yeah.
Right? So seriously, was he Farmer Jim or was he God?
I think he was Mufasa.
I
like his signature on that thing, which I won't get into right away, but was actually Farmer Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So his first name is Farmer.
Yeah, exactly.
And his last name is Jim.
Yeah.
Who knew that Porky and Daffy were raised together, eh?
Well, if you go back to the baby Looney Tunes, then they were all raised together.
This is what hurt me about this movie is the lack of illusion of the rest of the Looney Tunes.
Right.
Like, at least they could have made a joke that this is just an episode that they're starring in and they're actually Looney Tunes. But the thing when they're like looking for a job and then all of a sudden it goes to like Looney Tunes, Daffy and Butter in, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then it was a throwaway thing.
Right.
So
when I seen the Looney Tunes thing, what I thought was going to happen is like, oh, this is going to be a series of collections is what I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought every little antic they did was going to be like a Looney Tunes, like, oh, this Looney Tune adventure, then this Looney Tune adventure, and then I guess ended up being the job hunt.
No, I love Bugs, so it was weird not to see him. So
And I don't know. I'm watching the job hunt, and I'm going, poor Porky's been fired from so many jobs. It's not even his fault.
It's totally not his fault.
I like when they're playing his younger and Porky's reading the book and he's got like this perfect voice and Daffy knocks a vase in his head and he starts stuttering. So it's actually Daffy's fault that Porky Pig has a stutter.
Oh my god, I laughed so hard when I was like, oh, that's why he's got the stutter. Oh no.
Mark and I did too. We saw that and we're like, damn Daffy.
You could just see the look on Daffy's face like, I fucked up.
But he gets that look a lot in this movie.
I love that. I've never liked arrogant Daffy Duck, but I've always loved wacky Daffy Duck.
Looney.
Yeah,
Trademark.
Looney.
It's Looney, yes.
And woo.
Yeah, it needed that. It needed that.
I'm actually okay that the other, Marvin's about the only one where he's like, yeah, you should have maybe found a way to get Marvin, but I was actually okay the other Looney Tunes didn't show up.
Well, for me, on the farm, when they're doing the whole farm thing, even if you had, like, Bugs there, I would have been okay.
Yeah, that's what I don't mind that they weren't in it. I just would have liked a nod that they existed.
Even the hen coming up out of the rabbit hole going for the carrot, I would have been okay with it.
Because, where is Bugs during all this?
Did you guys think it was weird that they were the only animals?
Except for Petunia.
Well, Petunia, too. And I wasn't too sure if she was an existing character.
She was. She, back in the day, like way back in the day, she existed, and then they kind of forgot about her.
Yeah, it was weird that they were the only three.
Yeah. And
animals.
I love that news broadcast. It's going to be saved by a scientist, an alien, two pigs, and a duck. And they're like real pictures of them. So, in short, we're screwed.
There's so many good jokes in this movie. Like
farmland animals. That was said a few times. And probing.
Oh my!
The probing.
The probing. The jobs and the influence one. I like.
Yeah.
How are they getting away with this joke?
Well, it's even getting up to that one first, and they're in school, and Daffy literally lays an egg on the bully.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be an egg.
I was like,
oh no! Right?
I don't think male ducks can lay eggs.
He even says it.
Yeah,
I know.
He acknowledged
So,
you know how hard it is for male duck to
And
lay.
yet he does it twice in this movie.
yeah.
That we know of.
Yeah. The one time he did it a lot. Like he did quite a few.
Right? He does, and then he makes a mouse do it.
Yeah. But he painted. He tied a beak to him, so it's okay. So
like, how did everything come on fire? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Right. Well, that's what happens when a male duck tries to lay an egg.
Was Porky right? I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, but was Porky right to do that to Daffy, or was he wrong?
Okay, honestly, if Daffy had stayed the hell out of the way, they would have won.
it's like the Star-Lord thing all over again.
Like Daffy totally fucked them over. Right?
He does.
Yeah.
And then saves them. But still, he totally screws them over.
Daffy inadvertently put the world in danger like 3 times. And then he ends up saving it. But like still.
Which, I mean, predictable as hell, obviously. So.
Oh yeah, you knew
it was going to happen.
After the plot twist, everything was like, oh yeah, I know what's going to happen from here on out, right? I love the use of "It's the End of the World as We Know It."
The soundtrack in general, except for I as much as I hate that Bryan Adams song, it was a great touch. So, but yeah, I loved the soundtrack. But yeah, "The End of the World" was. I didn't expect them to do that much of the song. I thought they would have just stuck to the chorus, but
that felt so un-Looney Tune-ish.
Yeah.
But like now that I think about it, like Space Jam and
I believe I can fly.
yeah, Space Jam like used popular music like
Yeah.
crazy, right? But this is very different than those live action hybrids, right?
But we've discussed this before too. With the right placement of music, draws the crowd better. Depends. I mean, kids are gonna go watch it for flashing colors and think it's just awesome. But for adults, okay, there was a lot of adult content in this.
There
one.
was, and there was zombies. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
there
there
were
was
zombies.
totally
right?
zombies.
I mean, they weren't flesh-eating zombies, but they were zombies.
They were.
As old school horror fans, did you guys appreciate the use of what's it called, the Fearon, the Fearon for the music wise? You know that thing that
yeah.
Sheldon Cooper plays.
Oh,
Yeah.
Theremin?
The
Theremin, yeah.
I did actually appreciate that.
I thought that was a good touch, like to the old 50s like alien movies and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, it was like I said, the soundtrack, both instrumental and actual song, was spot on. So
Yeah, they did really good with that one, but I don't know. Throughout watching the whole movie, literally throughout the whole thing, they'd say something, and I'd just be like, "What the fuck?" Like,
How were they allowed to say that?
this had to have been a PG movie.
right, and then you're watching it too, and it's like, they're bringing like 5-year-olds to see this.
Well, like I said, I had a toddler and mother in front of me, like 3 rows, but still, and they left because the kid was too scared. So,
Are you sure it was too scared, or was the kid gonna go home and start tweaking?
no,
Or twerking,
the kid
sorry.
was like whining, not like annoyingly whining, but whining from that end. So,
Was that in the zombie scene?
yeah.
Not-
So they almost made it through the whole movie.
No,
Well,
that was half.
like the start of the zombie thing, not the scientist, but the start of the rest of the zombies. So,
The eyeball in the mouth.
Yeah,
that would do it.
That was pretty creepy.
It kind of makes you never want to chew gum again.
It kind of does. I had Grace and Bailey with me,
Yeah.
and I was very concerned when like the eyeball came out of the mouth. I'm looking over at Grace because I got warned that if it's scary, she might not be able to handle it, right? And I'm just kind of like, am I gonna have to take these kids out of here?
I liked when they're like angry zombies, and there was that homeless guy, and he opens his mouth, and the gum grows legs, and the homeless guy's like propped up in the legs as the gum is walking. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. Even I looked at Mark at that point in time. It was like it was Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Thing all in one.
It was very Invasion of the Body Snatchers, right, guys?
There's no pods.
There was no pods, so
Oh, guess gum.
just gum.
Guess gum.
Chew.
I was thinking of those exact same parallels, like the Thing and the Invasion of the Body Snatchers are like the two thoughts I had to that whole movie. At least like the middle part of it, right?
Yeah,
I kind of had a They Live feel to it to me.
Oh,
So.
it did
Ooh, a
have
little
that
bit.
too,
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Like especially when the gum grows and does its own thing.
Yeah, like not so much the hidden in plain sight part
That
of it,
was-
but
That one though, when the gum's growing and doing its own thing, that was more the blob.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit of the blob.
The only thing that really bothered me is the bad alien and the zombie scientist dynamic was far too identical to Yzma and Kronk.
Yes.
Like to a point where it felt like a ripoff.
You got that one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't put that correlation together, but now that you say it, I'm just like, I totally see that. But, Kronk's an adorable idiot, right? Like, I don't think the scientist was quite
He wasn't adorable. He was an idiot, but he wasn't adorable. So
But it's like him going to get the resource, and he comes back with 1,000 freaking
teeth.
teeth,
Yeah.
chomping mouths.
Yeah.
Which ended up being crucial to the plot in the end.
It does, but it's all because he
Actually,
thought
no.
It was
Like,
funny.
it was crucial, and then it wasn't. Yeah. I guess it. Yeah. It was funny.
Well, it was crucial for Petunia,
Mm-hmm.
and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then it's like, why'd you buy me these? That's stupid. And then it is again. So it's
Wind-up teeth is a classic cartoon trope of the 1950s, okay?
What we needed was the Acme bomb.
Acme anything.
Right?
I'm actually surprised it wasn't Acne gum.
That would have made more sense than Goody Gum.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm shocked they didn't make it Acne gum. I was expecting Acne. I love Daffy being right. Like, he's just got, like, these wild fucking rantings. Oh my god, someone put goo in the gum! There's gum! Don't eat the gum! Don't eat the gum! You're gonna turn into a...
And he's naked.
So, on that point, and yeah, my mind automatically goes there, because, Daffy's stripped how many times? Since when did he get nipples?
He had nipples?
He had nipples.
When
he's on stage.
Are we sure Daffy is a male duck?
Well, I have nipples.
Yeah.
You have nipples.
Do I, though?
You do.
Yeah, there they are. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
I am sorry.
No, the podcast people can't see what we're doing. Or,
Well, I'm pretty sure they can imagine it.
Just think American Wedding.
Well, don't go milk cats. Please.
Yeah, you can milk anything with a nipple.
And suddenly I am very, very afraid.
Was that
and yet not uncomfortable.
Was that Meet the Parents or was that Meet
that was
the
Meet the
Fockers?
Parents.
Okay.
Oh, no, it was the very first one.
I wasn't too sure if it was the
Parents.
first or the second
Yeah,
one.
it was the first one.
Classic movie.
The cat
Anyway.
trope in the second movie was the going to the toilet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Just like, what?
Anyway, Daffy and Porky. That doesn't sound bad together.
I like how, Daffy is assumably a loon because he's got the thing around his neck, although he's reverse colored. But either way, when he goes naked, he's got the thing around. It's like a band.
Yeah.
He doesn't get rid of that.
I was a little disturbed by Petunia in a couple scenes when she first came sauntering in. I'm just like, oh, that pig's not wearing pants. And then I realized Porky wasn't wearing pants. So I'm just like, I was less disturbed.
Although she wasn't actually. That was all in his head, remember?
Oh, yeah. I love how she comes in all voluptuous, then you see how she really
Her
is.
hair just straggly. And then, as she goes to sit on the chair gracefully, and then you see her, she's like, thunk.
Oh,
Men do see what they want to see.
yeah.
What a pig, hey?
Right? And then Daffy thinking that Porky just wants a slice of pie.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go get you a slice of that. Oh,
No, please don't. Hey, Joe.
And then he still introduces them. So
Right?
Yeah, I love how it ended up working out anyway. Oh.
But then it's the sponge and the dirty socks.
The sponge. Ugh.
But the dirty sock and rotten eggs, was it?
No, the sponge was worse.
How?
Sponge was...
How?
Well, because they didn't visualize... Maybe with the rotten eggs, it was just like you got the gag reflex. The sponge there was kind of like... I don't know. It was
She
different.
ate it?
she didn't eat it, she chewed on it.
Yeah.
Close
She was
enough.
It set the stage for how gross she was going to be. So it was like the initial, I had, the taste of, a sponge getting its stuff out in my
Smelled like
mouth.
sink food.
Yeah, I was like, that's... And then I was ready for the rest of it, right?
Okay, but keep in mind, her secret ingredient at the end of it is mixed with coffee and a dirty sock.
Yeah.
I did love the dirty sock just hanging out in there.
And then the missing ingredient, which was, meteor rock.
Yeah.
Which, who... What?
I thought they were just going to say, extreme cold.
Yeah.
Because being in space. And she's like, oh, I got an idea. And then she was going to get a freezer or something.
Uh-huh.
But nope.
Meteor rock. Because putting gravel in your gum is...
With your coffee and your dirty sock. Is the perfect gum flavor.
There's coffee grounds and there's ground.
And dirty sock.
And dirty.
Petunia was a perfect addition to this, was she not?
Mm-hmm.
She helped balance it.
Well, Bugs had his Babs in Space Jam, and
Yep.
Porky's got his Petunia. So
The one thing I will say about the new Space Jam is that like they desexualized
Babs.
Lola
Or
a
Lola,
little,
right, sorry.
Yeah,
Bunny.
Lola a little bit in that one because the originals 1996
They
Lola.
zoomed in on that rabbit's ass a lot.
It was kind of like a fanfic. Like it was like a fanfic pour a little bit. Lola
Yep.
Bunny in Space Jam 1996.
It was.
Have you guys watched the new Looney Tunes at all?
like half an episode combined.
Yeah.
I saw one where like Lola's trying to date Bugs. I fucking love what they've done with that character in like the newer ones because she's guessed like they turned her not into a ditzy blonde, but like kind of that trope. Like she's a manic, like just oblivious to the world around her manic, and I love it that they gave her like a character.
Meanwhile, she was a feminist in Space Jam.
Right?
No, she was like they presented her as a feminist, but she was an object in Space Jam. That's like her personality was that I'm a woman. Like I don't know. I could argue. I don't want to argue with you about it, but like as I was about to say, I could argue, but I don't feel like she had any ounce of personality in 1996. Like, ooh, I'm a strong, independent woman, and that's her.
Don't
Her
call me
personality was a
Don't
woman.
call doll.
Doll, right?
Yeah, don't call me doll.
doll.
Yeah, I don't know. You would think that would be in my opinion, that's a more sexualized and like objectified version than like giving her a real personality. I don't know. I don't think
I've forgotten Space Jam 2, so
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. In hindsight, 1996 Space Jam bugs me a little bunny.
well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the average viewer is not there to sexualize their cartoons. They just want personalities for their cartoons, and you're right. Like her personality was being a piece of meat.
But her personality was like, I'm a woman. That was her.
But she was a good basketball player,
She was a good
great
basketball player.
player.
Yeah. But
and we all know women aren't good basketball players.
So maybe I'm wrong.
We have a whole league that has proven me right.
I'm gonna not comment on that. I don't watch basketball, so it's all good.
I actually hear the WNBA is not too bad, but like, I don't watch basketball either. So, do you guys think it's fair they ask for the same amount of money as the guys?
No.
Because like that'd be like the CFL players asking for the same amount of money in the NFL.
Yeah. It's based on the revenue brought in. So if it was an even percentage, that would be different.
Yep.
So like, let's say the NFL players are asking for 25% of the revenue. Okay. And they still could get the contracts they're getting now.
Yep.
Whereas 25% of the CFL makes $70,000 a game. 25% of that is like less. So
Yep.
You're
You're
not
mathing
wrong.
today. You're mathing today.
it's like 19,000 to be divvied. So
Which isn't very much.
no.
Yeah.
So let's round up to 20, times it by 18 games in a season. That's like 180,000
Corey probably should
or
have
something like that.
Yeah, 3,600.
I don't fucking know. Anyways,
Corey probably
So-
should not be mathing today.
anyway, but bottom line is it's not like no.
Yeah, no.
The max CFL salary is 250,000. So
Yeah, which sucks for the CFL guys, but like
yeah, but what
That's
most
what
of them have to have. Well, it's funny. Like most of them have to have a full-time job outside of football. I'm like, really? Because even if you're making $100,000 a year, do you really need a full-time job outside of football?
Yeah, like I feel like that's enough.
yeah.
Right?
Like you'd
But-
have to live within your means, but still.
How many months out of the year does the CFL go? Like, is it 6 months?
8, I believe.
8?
Oh, so they get an extended summer. Woohoo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
I have to
Go-
work my entire life,
It
go
goes
on
from
holidays, and
July
it sucks when I
to
come
February, or no, July to November. Sorry.
go friggin' cut some grass at a golf
That's
course
4
or something
months.
like that, right?
Yeah, it's only 4 months, I guess. Sorry, never mind.
Oh, they only go for 4 months?
Yeah. Well, technically June, so I guess 5 months.
home. Yeah.
Because June is
That's not even
preseason,
half
so-
a year.
Yeah.
But
So-
still, you know what? If they cannot live within their means, because literally, I take time off to go on holidays, and like if I take 10 days to 2 weeks, I come home and it's tight until you get that next paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also a firm mind too that if I don't go on holidays, somebody is going to get stabbed.
Yeah.
We all appreciate
Holidays
a non-stabby Laura.
Yeah.
Right?
Holidays are good for your mental state.
Yes.
And that's the thing, I'm not trying to poor shame because I'm not rich.
No.
But holidays does not mean going to Mexico or going on a plane even. It means going in your backyard and fucking sunbathing and putting up a little plastic wading pool,
Some of the best vacations I've ever had was the staycation.
Yeah.
I've been talked to too many times about the police about my sunbathing.
Put some clothes on then.
And they say you can't be naked in your front yard. I'm just like, well, it's my property. I'm going to do what I want.
It might be, but it's still indecent exposure. That's why you have a backyard with a fence.
I like to think it's decent exposure. Okay?
Or northern exposure.
Whoa! That makes sense. Oh.
I can't sunbathe naked because that would cause an eclipse.
Why is it so bright?
No. Opposite.
Opposite? Yes, I realized after. I thought
Yeah.
you were talking about like it'd be so bright that would
Yeah.
absorb.
Although that's probably accurate too, because I'm pretty fucking white. So.
Yeah.
We'd get snow blindness from this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Except for the hair would be in the way, and
You'd still get snow blindness.
People be going around like
you look like
that's
you're in a forest. It's brightness with shades, bits of dark.
little lawn gnomes running
Yeah,
around in
right?
there.
Those aren't not lawn gnomes, just saying.
Should have those crabs looked at.
He's my friend. His name is Pinchy.
No, he's not. Anybody with the name Pinchy is not your friend. Ow, ow, ow.
Yeah, remember I was complaining about my knee? Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, jeez. I think we all need a vacation.
Hey, man. June 13th and 14th. It's coming up.
So, what did we think? So, the fucking plot's kind of ridiculous, right?
It's stupid as fuck.
Like, when I realized that they were trying to form a gumball around the Earth did blow up in this movie, eh?
It does.
It blew up a giant.
Gumball.
Yep.
How does the Sphinx chew bubblegum?
Yeah, Mona Lisa did, and like they had all these, and the dog fart.
The dog
was
fart
funny.
was funny. Yeah. That seems like a bad plan. Like, put a gumball around the Earth.
Well, I had this plan if, we formed a gumball and the asteroid would just bounce off.
But
That would work.
But that gum was never detoxified. And at the end of the movie, the gum was still all over the place. So if some kid walking by is like, hey, look, gum. He's a zombie.
Yeah.
Ah, good point.
Yeah. You think a kid's going to, like...
Yes! If anybody would, it would be a kid.
Or a dog.
Or me.
How many kids are getting gum that's off the ground? Where are the parents?
Okay, on average, how many kids actually eat the gum from underneath the table?
That
where
is
it
so
does?
gross!
Right?
That is like the grossest thing.
I had a kid in grade 2 that was like, went to school with me when I was in grade 2, but either way, he would pick his nose and he would put a little pile on the corner of his desk. And it actually started growing, and at the end of the year, he ate it.
Oh.
I want to keep my supper in my body, thank you.
I don't know why I remember that, because that was a long fucking time ago.
I think that's the grossest story I've ever heard in my life. And I clean poop for a living. Like, that is... Like, eating boogers is gross. Eating year-old boogers that have collected and amalgamated?
I can feel myself turning green here, okay?
Like a bit of a gag reflex going here. Like,
I can feel myself turning green.
Anyway.
so we thought that plot twist was kind of stupid, that the alien wasn't really...
Bubba tea. Bubba tea.
Boba Tea's not even that good. Like,
It apparently is Earth's greatest resource.
Hey, if we didn't have Harold, we wouldn't have the gaming lounge.
What, is he Boba Tea?
He's Sao Tea, the bubble tea place.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
oh, so we have to talk nice about Boba Tea.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I don't know, Harold.
Of course, I just
so,
had insulted an entire gender/league, so I don't think.
I don't think. I think you're being pragmatic about the WNBA and the CFL. Like, there's like insulting, and then there's being like, yeah, that's kind of truthful.
I just said there was no talent in the NBA. That's kind of insulting.
In the NBA?
WNBA. Whatever.
I was gonna say, no, there's lots of talent in
Okay,
the
well, I
NBA.
guess that is kind of insulting.
I mean,
now that I think about it,
obviously it's not true. However, I'm a jerk, so.
Yeah,
yeah.
you
There
gotta
is
own something.
there is some girls that are pretty good there.
Oh yeah. Caitlin Clark,
Yeah.
See, the fact that you know their names means that you obviously follow it.
Angel
so,
Reese.
so
I just follow
perfect.
those two because they're always bitching at each other who's better, even though Caitlin is obviously better.
Okay, so he
So-
likes the bitchy girls. Just make them all bitchy.
Is that the white girl that all the black girls hate?
Yeah,
Okay. Why
Okay.
don't black girls hate her?
because she's good and they're not. I don't know. I follow drama, not the sport.
I almost feel like it's like from what I've heard of it, it almost sounds like a reverse racist thing.
Kind of.
Fucking white people.
And again, the whitest of the white is saying fucking white people.
Well, like I almost like I'm not gonna say it, but I like kind of feel the opposite in that particular case. Not that the white person's being the bad person in that one. Am I allowed to say that?
No.
Okay.
No, you're 100% wrong.
Okay.
Just because of what the definition of racism is.
Well, I don't.
Dig, my friend. Dig.
I don't feel like I am, but I. Okay, we'll let it go. Letting go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Um,
Speaking of that, Elio, whatever, the Pixar movie coming out,
oh yeah.
looks awful.
It does.
Like, all of those previews, I have zero interest in watching any of them.
And Pixar used to be bank. Like you knew you were getting.
Well,
a
Pixar's
good...
lost 2 years in a row, they said now, which has never happened.
Wow.
So,
What'd they come out with last year?
I don't fucking know.
Well, they couldn't have lost last year because last year was that sequel, Inside Out 2.
Yeah, I lost.
They didn't win last year.
Yeah.
Lost what?
I'm talking best animated. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you meant
Sorry.
lost money.
Oh, no. Inside Out 2 make like $1 billion. But
what,
no.
what animated movie beat out Inside Out
It was
Hang on.
something weird.
Laura is Googling.
2? Was it The Wild Robot? Because that movie was amazing. That was.
That I don't know.
If it wasn't The Wild Robot, it must have been an amazing cartoon. Because Wild Robot's probably like one of the best like movies I seen last year. Very heartfelt. Oh, you're googling.
I'm Googling. Keep
The
going.
Googling.
Googling person's getting older and slower, or is it just me?
You know, she's guessed about at 40 here. Like, we're gonna have to get some young, hip person to do
The
it.
Boy and the Heron won last year.
Oh, you know that one.
Oh yeah, that blockbuster hit, The Boy and the Heron.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Although I still remember Jack Black and I think it was Cameron Diaz doing the thing for Best Animated back, like, I think it was, oh god, it was years ago. Anyways, and no, it was Jennifer Aniston, that's what it was, because she was in Iron Giant, and of course Jack Black was Kung Fu Panda and all that stuff, and she's like, so you're doing pretty good for yourself, you're pretty successful, it's like, what's your trick? He's like, oh, I take all the money I make from Kung Fu Panda and I bet it all on Pixar to win.
So, and as sad as it is, Inside Out wasn't even nominated last year.
Really, that was
Yeah.
actually pretty good.
But
I
the
watched
boy
half
and
of
the
Oh.
Heron beat Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Like, I could understand that.
I don't understand that one. Nope. Mm-mm.
Spider-Verse was pretty great.
I thought Inside Out 2 was better than that. Yeah, I like the subject matter and Inside Out too. Like I like how they dealt with anxiety, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a tough subject to cover because it's hard, tough to visualize.
That's fair.
You okay there, Twitchy?
Twitchy.
You want coffee?
No.
Coffee? Java?
You just need to go with the flow because that won this year.
I'm going to tell you guys a story after. But anyway. Yeah.
Did you guys... we alluded to it. The house getting destroyed. That's like... The whole plot of this movie is...
To save the house.
Yeah. That's why they kept working. Oh, and I love the jobs. Like, I push the button, you pull the lever. I push the button, you
So
pull
then
the
he pulls out the freaking sledgehammer. I do this.
No! So here's you have 10 days to fix your roof. I've never been at a job that pays me daily.
Yeah.
Well, and obviously they didn't get the money daily because they worked there for that first day and they still didn't have the money. So.
Well, you're not going to have money when you
Yeah.
have to keep bailing out Daffy.
Yeah. Which is funny. They allude to that he has like no money in his bank account, but he had enough money to bail someone out.
Well,
It's
they
the
had
piggy
like...
bank.
they
That
had-
was their roof repair.
No, but they're like you
They
see
did
how
have,
much
like-
was in that piggy bank.
They did have like 7 jobs.
Yeah.
They had to have like got a little bit of money from that. Like I know they got fired in every single one, but it's not like
Severance from every single one.
I don't know if they got severance, but
Probably
you know,
not.
like 1 hour of pay.
Is that even a thing at that point? I would have just been like, get out.
Well, they were fired pretty quick.
I mean, just the coffee when I want a large coffee, blah, 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 blah. I would have done the same thing as
That was
yeah.
hilarious.
coffee!
Daffy was totally justified in that one. Like,
What's your story here?
What are you wanting? We have coffee! He's 100% justified there. I would have been like, you're hired.
I was listening to see if there was anything fake that they listed, and I didn't hear
No,
anything.
no, it was all legit. I heard.
Well, because everything... But what gets me is like, they're listing all of this stuff for this coffee, but then you look at the menu behind them, and none of that shit is on there.
Yeah?
You had coffee, you had decaf, you had hot chocolate cappuccino. There was no
Yeah.
upside down half whatever shit.
Almond milk, half latte,
Yeah,
half chai.
right, half chai, half almond, upside down with foam. And like, what the? Oh, and I think there was caramel or something in there too. That sounds like a very gross coffee.
Except for I think they also said almond milk, whatever, and then they also said lactose free or whatever. And I was like, well, you didn't need to say that one, but
Yeah,
but it's funny. So
But it was funny. I actually made that exact same observation.
But that sounds like a very, as a coffee fanatic, that sounds like a very gross coffee.
yeah.
it's water. That's all she was asking for was water.
Basically, cloudy water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a little bit of steamed almond milk in it, right?
As long as it's lactose free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to the almond milk with lactose in it.
Right?
So,
What was the influencer the best job though? I guess I
You
could.
think we can make money as influencers? Cancelled.
Yeah.
they can do that?
After they had -5 hearts, too.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go, and then they were just canceled.
I don't know. Coming from a ragtag group of individuals who can't string together more than one view a week, we haven't been canceled yet.
Well, you people gotta watch it to cancel us.
We haven't inflated our asses and started twerking.
have you looked in the mirror?
Whoa!
Oh,
Whoa! Whoa!
You leave my ass out of this one.
Ah.
And I'm not twerking
You
either.
already insulted the WNBA. Is there you can't keep. Yeah,
He is totally alienating an entire gender here.
yeah.
Shoe fits.
Guess because all these ladies
Your
look like
shoes
men, you
wouldn't
can't
fit
keep
me.
insulting them.
Your shoes would not fit me.
Aren't your shoes like a 6?
They're 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teeth.
I'm a 10.5.
Yeah, I have tiny feet.
So anyway, I've been dying. Oh my! Why would the insurance policy be on the back of the picture, by the way? Does that make
So
any
that
sense?
Daffy can't screw him over.
Well, yeah. Oh,
Better
I
yet-
knew
And the
Daffy would
specific-
do
The
something.
specifics in the contract.
Yeah.
Alien invasion, mind control.
Yeah. That was like the biggest MacGuffin ever.
But it's the fact that up there too, like the whole thing is a Daffy and Porky movie, and everything's Daffy and Porky. Daffy.
Yeah.
But the insurance policy says to Porky and Daffy.
You've blown apart the movie.
Yeah, I
Whatever.
don't think that simple thing. Yeah. No, you've got nothing there.
But when you think, okay, what would Daffy have done with that money? Think about it.
Well,
I
buy
want
more
$5 million.
mallets. Buy more mallets.
That's a lot of damn mallets.
I love how my kid's favorite part of that movie was when the HOA lady came back in the end credit and her head blew up. They're just like, I love the part with. Did you stay for that?
No.
Yeah.
It-
So as the end credits are going by, she's driving by, stops, screams, and literally her head goes.
That was the kids' favorite part of the movie.
Huh.
And you actually see it. This is kind of creepy for a kids movie too, because you actually see where her head should be, and it's drawn in red.
Yep.
Huh. I'm getting too old for end credits. I tend to go to, like, if I'm going to a Marvel movie, I'll stay obviously because I know. But any other movie, I'll literally Google it at the theater and be like, is there an end credit scene? Nope, bye.
It wasn't a. You didn't have to wait very long.
No.
I literally direct to buy or whatever, and I was gone.
It
So
was like 2 minutes,
Yeah.
and then it was on.
Yeah, not even 2 minutes.
Right. Mark and I were leaving too when it came on. We stopped and watched it.
Mm-hmm.
went to go to the bathroom on the way out of the theater, and the two ushers that, you know, they go see it are standing right in front of the bathroom door. I'm like, fine, I'll go at home. Jesus. I
Yeah, there was.
had like 2 large freaking Diet Pepsis, so I was I
That'll-
kind of had to
that'll
go.
do
How did
Yeah.
you have that much to drink in an hour and a half movie?
I was done my first one like 5 minutes into the actual movie because I had the whole pre-show.
Speaking of going to the bathroom, we should take a bathroom break.
I think that's a great idea.
Did we all flush?
I should hope so.
Okay.
But did we wash our hands?
Oh, damn it, Corey!
Lemonade and chocolate flavor.
Oh,
Oh, too far. Step too
Okay.
far.
remember the whole "I'm turning green" thing? They're not even green; it's just coming up now.
It's not easy being green.
So, I wanted to ask you guys, since the second I watched this movie, what genre is
Oh
it?
no, I want to ask him first. 'Cause
Yeah.
I totally know where this one's going.
So, I think that this movie is a horror. Okay? At least the whole
called
middle
it.
part. The whole middle part. So there's there's the supernatural stuff with the mind control. There's the scary space element. They've got a fucking flamethrower killing zombie gum in it. Like,
They also have a bug spray shooting out rotten eggs.
well,
so
yes, the I love the rotten eggs as like the cure to the zombies.
You couldn't just tell the person, hey, spit it out.
Yeah. Well, the anamorphic gum that takes over bodies, it was actually kind of scary when Petunia was like,
Taken over.
it
Yeah.
became like that huge gelatinous,
Almost like a queen.
yeah. And there was like the blob gum in there, the eyeballs in the mouth.
You know what I thought of with that? It. The
yeah,
dinner scene.
right.
Yeah.
The witch
The
scene?
dinner scene in It.
Never seen it.
Oh.
Well, I've seen the old one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
When they're
I-
we're going for Chinese food, when they all
And
get
it-
together as adults.
I'm not gonna lie, I've blocked the old one out of my memory cells because I was traumatized by that movie.
Aw.
We've had this conversation.
Ah.
And no wonder he thinks Jurassic Park, and now apparently Looney Tunes is a horror movie.
Tell me I'm wrong
You're wrong.
with facts.
You
Tell
never
me
said
I'm
that.
wrong. Tell me I'm wrong with facts.
You never said that I had to say with facts until after I said you were wrong.
And you know what? Not every horror movie needs to be scary, but there is definitely. Is every horror movie scary?
Well, that's in terms
Corey's
what
the-
horror means.
No, I agree.
Like, I guess sometimes, yeah, like it
Okay.
could mean
Plus,
to
fear
be.
is subjective, so.
So,
Yeah.
okay, but
Not every comedy's funny.
does that count with us? Because I don't know about you, but I don't find horror movies scary at all.
So does that make them not horror movies?
No, they're all comedies, according to me.
For me, when watching a horror movie, it's all based on my frame of mind when I'm watching the horror movie. Like I said, when I watched Paranormal Activity for the first time, I was half awake. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I turned off all the lights, and I watched it in a very groggy state. That movie scared the fuck out of me. But then you watch it again afterwards, and you're like, no.
You see, I go to sleep watching horror movies, so it's
Well,
great.
so do I. But like I said, that one it grabbed me and it drew me in. And so like, you know, they're showing the camera there, and I'm literally like, I felt like I was stoned. I was watching every corner of that screen looking for something. My eyes are just like this when they're not, you know, going like this. And I know, you're welcome, viewers.
Yes, that was a good visual
But,
for the listeners out there.
Yeah.
His eyes are drooping, yet they're
Yeah.
pinned open.
Yeah,
There
so
we
it
go.
was it was a very well done atmospheric movie for me in that frame of mind.
Found footage movies are like the least rewatchable movies of all time.
I hate found footage movies.
The Blair Witch Project actually kind of scared me.
I love that movie, but I have a lot of sentimental attachment to that movie.
The scariest part of that whole movie was the amount of snot coming out of her nose.
I love how they made fun of that in Scary Movie too.
Like, that was the only scary part.
That movie was only scary because, like, you believed it. Like, because you didn't know when it first came out.
The marketing in that movie was beautifully done.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, I kind of wanted to go find an abandoned, crumbling house afterwards, so...
We went camping, my buddy, and well, two buddies and me, at Sylvan there, and it was that year that it came out, and we're literally in the dark, just hiking around the paths of the campground, and I would be like, he'd be in front of me, my one buddy, and we always like pick on him because he was scared. Josh.
See, I'd pull that crap.
Yeah.
So-
Laura?
No, you gotta rate it first.
No, that's not how it works.
This isn't final thoughts. This is what genre is it?
What genre is it? Definitely comedy.
You've been doing this for like a year and a half.
And things change all the time. So,
That's what everybody says, but no, it really hasn't.
actually,
We-
it
we've-
has, because
we've-
there's a lot of times it's where are you going to place it, and then what do you rate it? It's like,
Wow,
Well,
okay.
why am I doing
where
it
are
all
you,
at the same
Where are
time?
you putting it in the movie store? Sorry.
comedy.
You're putting it in comedy.
Yes.
Sorry. What genre is it, and where do you put it in the movie store? The same thing.
Yes. That's not what I'm saying. I'll explain after. Comedy. It is 100% a comedy movie.
Corey?
If you put it in horror, I disown you.
Tell me
remember?
Tell me I'm wrong with logic, because I know how you classify a horror
Do
movie.
you remember
I will just...
what I called Gremlins?
Like a family horror? Was that what you called
Family-friendly horror.
Family-friendly horror.
That is what I call this movie.
Which is correct.
I'm not 100% sure if I can disown him yet. Explain.
Because think of Gremlins. Gremlins had a cute and adorable creature, and then it had some darker creatures, but were still comedic.
Mm-hmm.
So, by definition, Gremlins is a horror movie. But it had a family-friendly element to it. So, I created the genre family-friendly horror.
So, does Gremlins have the family-friendly horror version because of the Gremlins sitting in the theater watching Snow White?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Or the beach bikini, whatever.
We don't talk about the bikini.
But
Gremlin.
and then part two, they ran with it. They realized it was very similar to how Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2 came out. The Evil Dead 1 came out as to be a horror movie, a flat-out horror movie.
Which
And
turned
then
out to
Sam
be more of
Raimi
a
realized that more people made fun of it then they did take it seriously. So he said, fuck it. And he made part 2 and 3 comedies with horror. So,
Okay.
whereas, like I said, this one, it's family friendly because it's Looney Tunes, but he's not wrong. It's got horror in it. So.
Where did we put Army of Darkness in the movie store? I can't remember.
I put that one in comedy too.
I think because of my logic, I had put in horror, so
I think I put that in action.
probably.
I think that was one that divided us. If I recall properly.
Yeah. I'm still haven't decided if I'm disowning you yet.
With that logic is sound though, because there was an awful lot of horror elements in here. It was an homage to the old 50 horror films.
I think I was considering disowning him for the Gremlins one too.
Would you like me to go first for my final thoughts?
You started it, so yep.
While watching it, this movie quite surprised me. Like, the ending we kind of talked about. Like, I don't like the twist where the alien was trying to save the Earth. Like, I liked what the movie was up until then, and then that twist happened, and then Porky and Petunia and Daffy have to go save the Earth, which is like, it's totally predictable that Daffy saves the day, right? Like, you know, he's fucked up the whole movie. And it was fine. It felt like a different movie after then. Up until that point, it probably would have got my highest rating as like a Last Crusade. But I think guessed that tonal shift after the bubblegum thing didn't work, which like tries to save a planet by covering it in bubblegum.
The Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I was gonna say
And
it happened.
why did the spaceship have a giant pen in it?
That was fucking hilarious. That was Looney Tunes in a nutshell.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
100% Looney
How do
Tunes.
I make this stop? Push the button.
Woof! Yeah, the thing pops out. Reversal, something. I
Yeah.
can't remember what it was, but yeah.
Push the button for a reversal sequence.
And why didn't the alien just explain that he's trying to save the world? If he would have just
Movie's got a
explained,
movie.
movie's got a movie.
Because I don't know, most people are looking at the sharp things. If you're going based off of your perspective, and the alien's going to eat them, not after the bubble
He
tea.
was pretty scary looking up until he said, "I love bubble tea."
I don't know. I thought he was scary looking, maybe, until he fell down the stairs. And then I just laughed at him.
You know, you go through all that effort to save the planet, and then you get down to the planet and you say Bubba Tea's on me. Like, you would think after saving the planet, wouldn't everybody else buy you Bubba Tea? Right? Like, I actually feel I feel like you got gypped. You got the overhead of the big spaceship. You know, you came up with this plan that other people fucked up. I don't know.
Well,
But-
no, just the duck and the pigs.
Yes. Who totally thought they were doing the right thing.
Right?
But I'm gonna give it a Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was a solid movie. Like it was very solid. Corey, what's your final thought on the day the Earth blew up?
Very similar to what you thought. The final plot twist was awful. But it's like they like looking at their watch and they're like, oh shit, we gotta fill about 15 more minutes.
That's exactly
So-
what I felt like.
Let's throw in another story altogether, and it was a very weak rushed story.
To an otherwise really well done movie.
It was not bad. And again, Looney Tunes is my jam. Like I don't like Disney, so the fact that I grew up watching Bugs Bunny, I was sorely disappointed with the lack of Bugs Bunny. And again, like I said, he didn't have to be in the movie so much as just alluded to in the movie. I would have been fine. But it was fine. It was very Looney Tunesy, which made me happy. But I don't know. I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to.
Really? I enjoy that they decided to carry a Looney Tunes movie without Bugs Bunny. I thought that was a bold choice.
That is a bold choice.
Yeah.
Which is probably why the movie's bombing, but you know.
Wait, I hear it's doing better than I thought it was going to do.
Oh really? Good
Yeah.
for it. Because God knows that probably cost like $5 to make. Like,
Did you see the poster at the theater?
No. Is it one of those mini print
Yeah,
ones?
it was one of the mini ones.
Oh, okay.
Like, I did not think it was
That
gonna...
means there was no theatrical poster.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so they did not have any faith at all, and I hear it's doing better than what Warner Brothers thought.
Well, that's cool. Good for it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking like 1.75
Oh, wow.
out of 5.
I didn't think it'd be that low.
I think part of it is as much as I love Daffy, like he's one of my favorites, that he was never the reason I liked Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Porky, he was always a throwaway character. So
it's hard to carry a movie with Porky.
Yeah. So I think it could have been better, but I had fun for sure. Like, I'm not the guy that does the subjective versus objective review. That's not me.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to combine my subjective and my objective review, it would be a 1.75. So.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. See, and I don't know. For me, it was more, like you said, the plot at the end sucked. I could have done without the whole Armageddon plot point.
Yeah.
I really could have. Well, you know,
That would have been funny.
That would have been funny, actually.
it's the more going into the asteroid to set the bombs, which turned out to be gum in this one. So I could have lived with that one. I did miss Bugs Bunny, but for me, it loses more for not having Marvin. They needed to have Marvin.
Yeah, I wish Marvin was there, but I think it did okay without Marvin.
I don't know. It's the whole alien thing, minus the bubblegum, the whole alien thing they've done before. I can live without the aliens and Looney Tunes.
Duck Dodgers in the 25th and a half
A
century.
Right? So,
But that's a movie we need.
Well, I kind of thought he was going to do that at one
Right.
point.
Duck Dodgers.
Dodging,
Yeah.
that would have been funny. That
That was
really
not
funny.
the Daffy we had in this movie.
No.
Because that's the kind of arrogant, still buffoonish, but this was like the Looney.
This was the Looney Tunes Daffy. But I don't know, even for me, this one's only going to get a 3 out of 5. There was elements missing. Whether it was just the homage to the other Looney Tune characters or not, the fact that there was only 3 talking animals in the whole movie throws it off too.
I love that weirdness. Like, there's no explanation. No one questions that there's just these 3 anamorphic animals. They're just like happily existing in this world, but like, nobody else. Just like I fucking love that weirdness.
But for me, it does. For me, it was. It's not even so much that. It, like I said, it was the whole Armageddon thing at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I can live without them taking plot points from another movie. So.
But they took plot points from a lot.
They
of
took
other
plot points from a lot of movies. But you know what? I can get over the whole Disney Mufasa and
The
Emperor's
Yzma
New
New-
Groove.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Armageddon? Come on.
And that was like a direct from Armageddon.
That was
right?
direct.
Like,
so.
oh, it was like, yeah, like we're gonna go into the middle and we're gonna, yeah.
Lay explosives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's probably the biggest reason it only gets a 3 out of 5. Otherwise,
That's still a 60%.
still 60%, still better than your rating, but
Mine was a 35.
yours is a 35.
I actually thought you were gonna give a better rating than that.
So did I.
I thought Laura was gonna give lower than you.
No, it was a Looney Tunes movie, and you know, I went to watch it because I knew it was going to be stupid funny. It was definitely. Do not go into it thinking. Don't think.
Oh yeah.
Because if you think, you're screwed.
But there was some thoughtful inflection in it, like when he's doing like the crazy rantings, like some of that stuff is like, oh well, he's actually right. Like there's some stuff, but yes, it's not a thinking man's movie.
Yeah, but that's a typical Daffy Duck thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes on a rant. The only thing that he wasn't ranting about was whether it was duck season or rabbit season.
Mm-hmm. What? Oh, yeah, bugs. We got bugs. Okay.
Right?
Silverfish thing.
Well,
Whatever
no.
those things are.
Now
Sow bugs.
Me?
No.
No,
Right
down there. Where did all these bugs come from, Corey?
It's spring.
Die. Well, with that, we have to call an exterminator.
Skish.
Not anymore.
Are we going to end off with that's all, folks?
I thought we were ending off with skish.
Yeah, that's all we got. Laura, what's going on?
I get spring break. Not from work, but, I still get spring
I'm
break.
sorry.
So, no, there's work, and more work. That's all there really is.
Yeah, it's gross, Corey.
It's not moving forward. Yeah.
Corey, what do you got going on?
Well, we are hoping not this week coming up, nor the next week, but the week after, to have a grand opening for a video game lounge here at the database.
Don't you have your soft opening this week?
Soft openings this week. I'm not putting a lot of stock into it, but I think it's more going to be the tech side of things, making sure that when people do come in, we're actually running a smooth ship, and that's my biggest concern right now. I actually have Steven coming in tomorrow morning to kind of help me with that. I want to I don't play a lot of consoles anymore, so
Doesn't it suck when you get old and you just
Yeah.
stop playing all that stuff?
So
I think you're selling the idea short. I think it might be more advantageous than you think it is. So
See, the fact that you've got something that caters to what kids like to do rather than going and sitting at the library on computers is going to help
yeah, they can come back here and sit on computers.
you. Sure.
and a lot of kids can't afford a lot of the games you're gonna have, right? So
Or the consoles, for that matter.
yeah. So
So, the concept that they get to come and try it out too before rushing out and being like, Mom, I want this, helps.
And I actually talked to a lady, I think it was Friday, and she's like, oh, I can't afford $600 on a console. I'm like, well, luckily, you don't have to. You
Right.
can come here and play.
See, and it's that idea alone because you're not charging a lot.
No, and he actually brought out that we're going to do for this week, this week, introductory pricing too. So $8 for an hour, or I think it was $12 for 2 people for an hour. It
That's
has to
not
be on the
bad.
same TV though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it'll be kind of because I think we're gonna go to the route of 10 and 15 after that.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, but for an hour, right? I mean, and that's what makes if I was really pushing the birthday party thing until I realized that it's gonna almost interfere. So I think they can still do it, but I don't think it's gonna take off as much anymore with the gaming lounge. But it may. So because for the price I'm charging for the birthday parties, which is $150, and I said you get it for a few hours, that's still fair. Because I mean, it's $10 an hour to play, or $150 for 3 hours, but you get private access.
I feel like we're prattling at this point. So
Yeah.
No, he's promoting.
well, yes, prattling,
Rattling.
promoting.
These two are not allowed to make up words anymore.
But
Nope.
that's really unjustification of you.
I was totally gonna say something like that.
I know what you two are getting for Christmas. Jesus.
Is it a Thesaurus?
I used to call it a thesaurus.
The Thesaurus?
Thesaurus, as if it was a dinosaur.
Love it. Love it.
Wow.
Okay. Well, if someone else is going to say it...
No. What's going on with you?
Nothing.
The end.
Yeah, I got nothing going on right now.
Just
I
nothing.
get to climb down to a sewer pit tomorrow.
Dun, 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 dun.
I love how you both went there.
So, go ahead, Jeff. You can say it.
That's all, folks.
But
No,
You
but
you more stutter.
well, it's hard to stutter. on that.
That's all, folks. I suppose it's... Bye.
Good night.
Night.
Is that it?